So what are some of the tools available that you recommend for authors to use for their digital marketing?
For the digital marketing, I mean, what I would say, there's actually quite a few platforms that are free that a lot of authors don't really think to utilize. So, I mean, a list that I'll love to share with authors is for design and graphics. A platform like Canva is really, really fantastic, and they've got a really great free plan. So it's a tool and a resource that authors should be using to create graphics for social media. They can create graphics for Amazon A+ content. They can create videos. So there's a lot that can be done with Canva. Along the kind of social media lines, there's a scheduling tool called Buffer, which they have a really nice free plan as well. You can connect up to 3 different social media channels. You can schedule up to 10 posts at a time. So what I love about scheduling tools, whether it's Buffer or whether it's another one that's out there, it really allows you to maintain that consistency over a long period of time. Because when you can get consistent about sharing on social media, that just helps you reach more people in the long run. And so I'll run into authors who are like, well, I don't have time, to sit down every day and just be scrolling on social media or thinking of something to post. And that's where a scheduling tool, like Buffer or like a different one can be helpful, because if you can set aside maybe an hour every 2 weeks, you can go ahead and pre-schedule 10 different posts, and so you don't have to think about it then for the next 2 weeks. So I love scheduling tools. I use one as well. For authors who are trying to build up a newsletter list, I love MailerLite. There's other email like service providers and platforms out there, but for me, the free plan that MailerLite offers is probably one of the best, and includes really all of the relevant features that an author could be using. So you can have up to 1,000 subscribers on the free plan, which again, if you're starting from scratch, which a lot of authors are starting from that, the ground floor. And so for that reason, it's a really great tool. And they offer you access to create sign-up forms. So you can easily create a place to send potential readers to download a free ebook or a free PDF. But then the other great feature that's available on the free plan of MailerLite is the ability to do automations. So you can set up a welcome series, or you could have what people will call like a drip campaign. So if someone signs up for 7 days of sales strategy tips, you can set up an automation to send once a day for 7 days, and it's all automatic. You don't have to think about it. You just set it up once and let it run. But other email platforms don't offer that on the free plan, so that's why I think MailerLite is pretty great.
I've never heard of it, so I'm actually excited. Yeah. You just helped me as well. So no, that's a great one. I didn't know that a free tool had the automation part of it. So no, that's amazing.
Once, like, it's pretty easy to use, because I've used it with some clients before, and I just think having the ability to do the automations is like next level. There's also a site called DIY Book Covers. And this is, again, something where you can upload your book cover and select different kind of 3D formats that you can download that image, and it just gives you, again, that little professional edge. If you're creating a graphic or want to post something about your book, you can have it look like it's in a 3D for hardcover, 3D for paperback, 3D for a Kindle. So again, totally free, DIYbookcovers.com, I think, and they've got like a 3D mockup feature.
That's incredible. Again, I'm going to play with that today. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I hadn't heard of that either, so I'm learning too. This is great.
And then, I mean, the obvious one too is just all of the various social media platforms as well. They're all free unless there's a few out there that do offer some paid services. But again, these are platforms where you really only need to pick one, maybe two, where your target reader is spending time, and just really dive into the best practices of that one platform. I've talked with authors even recently who are like, I've created a page on Facebook and LinkedIn and TikTok and Instagram, and and I'm just like, whoa, you don't have to do all of that. And so we kind of dig into their audience and figure out, really who they are. And we can start to connect the dots of, oh, that's a LinkedIn audience. Let's just set those other ones aside and let's do LinkedIn really well instead of doing 5 different social media platforms only. So I have to mention just kind of the generic social media platforms, because again, free to use and can give you a lot of reach when you're doing it well. Then I have some honorable mentions that aren't necessarily free platforms, but still low cost and can be super helpful for authors. So there's a program called Publisher Rocket. It's I think it's a $99 one-time fee. But it's a program that gives you a lot of great data on keywords, categories for Amazon metadata. So again, it gives authors that inside look and can give them, again, that leg up to the competition who's maybe not doing the research. So I'm using this tool all the time, and I paid for it years ago and I've never had to pay for it again. There's another site called Book Blaster. So I'm an advisor on their board, and it's a AI powered program that can help you develop content for social media, for email. It can create landing pages for you. It can create book trailers. It can even generate marketing plans, all using AI power. And so it's a really, really great tool. It's about $50 to $60 a month, but authors there's annual plans, but also you can think about it in terms of if you've got a launch and you may only need to use a tool like that for a few months. And so that's again something to think about is even with these paid tools, if you can set aside time to really devote and get the content done and get what you need, it doesn't have to be a forever thing.
Book Blaster, is that what you called it?
Yeah, Book Blaster.
I love that. Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. And even with last week, Written Word Media published their survey results for the state of indie authorship, and they did have some data on AI. And at this point, it's being severely underused for marketing purposes, because it can really be a great tool and a great time saver for authors. So that's will be something I've become more and more passionate about over the last several months, is because I see it as such a benefit and such a complementary tool for authors. But then another really great kind of digital service that I recommend to a lot of authors is an app called Captions. And it's, again, I think it's $65 for a year subscription, but it can add really nice branded captions to your videos. Again, people are watching videos mostly sound off. And so captions are super crucial if you are talking direct to the camera and you want someone to know what you're saying. So captions is great because you can put in your brand colors, you can make it look fun and stand out. But another cool thing that they have is a AI script generator, which again can be really helpful to give you some direction, some content ideas. And they also have an in-app teleprompter. So if you're someone who likes to read off of a script to record videos, it makes it a lot easier because you can just be looking right at your screen, talking to the video, but not having to memorize the lines. So I think it's a pretty cool app and can be really helpful for authors who are doing a lot of video content.
That is a ton of amazing apps and tools that you just said. I have not heard of half of them, so that's incredible. That, especially having the teleprompter built right in, that's amazing. No, that's more. Do you have more that you want to share with us, or?
Well, my other honorable mention is just is Canva Pro. So while Canva does have a really great free plan, I usually will kind of push people to just go for the Canva Pro. I've been using Canva Pro personally for probably like 8 years, like probably I think shortly after it launched, and it's just the additional features that you get access to with Canva Pro, for me, makes it totally worth it. Like they've got like brand kits that you can set up, so it makes it super easy to get your brand colors, your brand fonts, just all in one place. You get access to more templates, tons of stock images, and all that stuff. So that's also if you've got marketing budget, there's definitely some of these like tools and resources that are worth spending a little bit just to get access to them.
But at least like they're not super expensive, which is fantastic. And I'm a big fan of Canva Pro myself. I think it's incredible. It just makes your life so much easier. And you don't have to be a graphic designer, to like a full-fledged graphic designer to be able to use it. And so I'm with you on that. I think all of these tools are amazing, and we'll add them, your recommendations, to the materials with this course as well, so people can see your recommendations and look them up and find out more information about them. But thank you for sharing those with us. Those are incredible. Those could be life-changing for an author.
I hope so. Because they really they offer so much, so many benefits, and they can really cut a lot of the time that authors are spending. Because that's one of the biggest things that I hear from authors when it comes to marketing. It's like, oh, well, I don't really have the time to do it. I'm either writing all the time, or maybe they have a full-time job in addition to writing books. And so these are tools that really help take the time that it could take and really start to minimize it. So it's easier to say, oh, I can find an hour over the course of a week. Like that's something that's doable. And these tools help you get there.
I love it. Okay. So we will definitely be sharing all of this as a course and as materials as well, like for all of our authors that are watching. So thank you, Aryn. Thank you for sharing all of those tools with us. We're excited to share those with our authors as well. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.